Welcome to the Exactpro Systems YouTube channel. Here you can catch up on the latest technology updates in software testing and development for the financial industry. These include the applications of AI and machine learning, DLT, cloud computing, and many other technologies and solutions. You can find the recordings of our latest conferences featuring top-level speakers from global market infrastructures, world's leading banks, and technology vendors. You can watch the Exactpro experts sharing their insights with the fintech community at events all around the world and with our subscribers in the regular Exactpro Talks segment. If you're interested in the Exactpro test tools released to open source, you'll find a list of tutorials here as well. We also put a new spin on some of the popular shows that we bet you've never thought were about software testing. This channel is for chief technology, information and compliance professionals, product owners, and software quality assurance and development specialists of all levels. Subscribe to our channel, hit the bell button to stay up to date on all the videos, and visit our website exactpro.com if you want to learn more about us.
Hi everyone, please write in the YouTube chat if you can hear and see me well. Great. Hello once again. We're happy to see you on our meeting dedicated to software testing. Let me introduce myself. My name is Lana, and I'm HR manager at Exactpro System Georgia. However, today I will have one more role. I will be a moderator of the event. Before we move to the main part, I would like to ask you a question, how you're feeling. So my colleague will share a link. Igor, please share a link in the chat. So you will have an answer there. Choose the appropriate answer. So let's see the results together in 1 minute. Igor, can you please share the link in the chat? Okay, so let's wait for 1 more minute for Igor to share the link. But we can see actually the answers later. So let's move to the next part. So as you have already mentioned, our main communication source will be YouTube chat. So at the end of each presentation, you will have up to 5 minutes to write your question there, and our speakers will answer them orally. However, after 5 minutes, they will move to YouTube platform and will answer your questions directly in the chat. So no link yet. I'm so sorry for the technical problems. We can see the answers later. But for now, let's move further. And today we are going to listen for 2 pretty interesting presentations and topic from the software testing direction. Our first speaker will be Tinatin Tsirekidze, head of software QA team at Liberty Bank and vice president of GeoSTQB. Tinatin will talk about the multiple positive effects quality assurance has on organizations and individuals. Next speaker will be Iosif Itkin, CEO and co-founder of Exactpro, who will discuss the concept of high-volume automated testing. This is the agenda for today's event. And at the end, I will tell shortly about the vacancies that we have at Exactpro in software testing direction. So I guess it's time to introduce our first speaker, Tinatin Tsirekidze will be our first speaker. Tico, can you hear me well?
Yes, it's okay.
Okay, great. So Tico, I guess it's your turn. And I will go on. Yeah.
Let me share presentation. Okay. Good evening, dear audience. It's great pleasure to be here and taking part in such a nice webinar. I would like to express my gratitude to Exactpro for their effort in initiating and preparing for such a nice event. Let me introduce myself. I am Tinatin Tsirekidze. My educational background is information technology, and I have been working in software quality assurance direction more than 13 years in different sphere. Now I'm in charge of software quality assurance direction at Liberty Bank. At the same time, I represent motivated IT professionals group, Georgian Software Testing Qualifications Board, who wants to establish software quality assurance standards in Georgia. In this way, we can contribute our country's further development. I have divided, today I would like to give overview how to impact digital product quality on business, and I have divided my presentation into three main parts. First of all, I will be looking at what is digital quality, and next I will go on how to assure it, and last I will be focus on its impact on business. Let's start. What is digital product quality? Moving to the more digitally embedded society, the influence of software is far bigger this day. It contributes to upscale life standards, enhance the business prospects, and involves a smart world. In addition to the industrial commercial effects, today software plays a critical role across all the walkways of common people. However, all it requires is a smooth and fail-proof functionality of the software. In today's technology-driven world, many enterprises are catching on the wave of the disruption. There are many drivers of this disruption. They could be about the changing technological environment, involving business dynamics, increasingly intense competition, and such like. Disruption is a widespread concern for enterprises. Such technology competition is on the verge of the disrupting business model. Polaroid is a classic example, a pioneer in digital imaging in the 1960s. The company did not make a necessary investment to hold the lead in the 1960s when digital photography overtook film. Although no one can predict the exact impact and extent of disruption of the next 5 years, a recent study found that companies facing disruption generally take longer to respond than they expect, despite having an effective response available with them. Given this, enterprises must transform their way of working, and product development. Such a technology is undergoing a major transformation. Using emerging technologies and artificial intelligence to innovate and develop new products and services is a fast becoming and new battleground for enterprises. Concepts such as data analytics, bots, blockchains, and artificial intelligence are enhancing the product offering of enterprises and transforming the way products are developed. In the context of software product development, the typical dimensions of product development are define, design, develop, detect, deploy, and debrief. Define is focused on the requirement elicitation and analysis. Design and develop are focus on product development and architecture. Detect focus on quality assurance, while deploy and debrief focus on development and maintenance of the product. I would like to highlight software quality. Software quality in products is defined in terms of its fitness of purpose. That is, a quality product does precisely what the user wants it to do. For software products, the fitness of purpose fitness of use is generally explained in terms of satisfaction of the requirement laid down in the CRC document. Although fitness of purpose is satisfactory interpretation of quality for many devices such as car, mobile phone, and etc. For software products, fitness of purpose is not wholly satisfactory definition of quality. To better understand this topic, let's use the analogy of the chair. If we need a new chair for our dining room, we go to the store, see different type of chairs and feel lost. How to find the right model? Which chair can we describe as having good quality? Different people mention different things. For me, it's important that the chair fit the rest of the interior decor, and that they are stable and easy to clean. For my daughter, it's important that she can swing on without the fear of falling backwards. The best way to address these needs is to create a list of requirements. Do we need arm sets? Should they be stackable? What kind of materials and colors and etc. We do the same with software. We create a list of requirements and measure the degree of compliance. The biggest problem is that software requirement is a very complex process, and many customers lack of understanding of it. The modern quality associated with a software product is several quality models such as following software device is set to be portable if it can be freely made to work in a various operating system environment in a multiple machine with other software products and etc. A software product has better usability if various categories of users can easily invoke the function of products. A software product has excellent reusability if different model of product can quickly be reused to develop new products. A software product is correct if various requirements as specified in the CRC document have been correctly implemented. And software product is maintainable if bugs can be easily corrected as and when they show up, new tasks can be easily added to the product, and functionality of the product can be easily modified. In practice, the relative importance of particular software characteristics typically depends on software domain, product type, and intending usage. Thus, software characteristics should be defined for and used to guide the development of each product. Dear audience, please share your experience. Will be very interesting. Which criteria do you think is effective? Please share it via Slido. We have 1 minute for this. Right, very interesting. Okay, it's enough, I think. Thank you. Usability, yes, as expected. Thank you for involving and sharing your insights. Let's continue our presentation and let's move to how to ensure software product quality. Quality assurance is a very important subject in the complex world of the software development. We observe our software and find that it has discrepancies with the customer expectations. A discrepancy in software is called a bug. If we remove the bug from the software, it does not automatically mean that it now works flawlessly. A requirement is a terms for customers' expectation for a system, and it could be that the bug hide there as well. Sounds difficult, right? That's why we need dedicated QA engineers. Let's start with the assurance part in QA. Nowadays, in the industry, can ensure that your software is flawless. Every software application has at least one bug. The question is, do we know what is it? Where is it? And do we want to do we want that others find it? How that we accept that we can move on? How can we assure that we know about all the relevant bugs in our software? We test the software. We can also test all kind of documents, design and code. Testers have a comprehensive toolbox on how to collect information about the system in the test. After some time of testing, you will notice that there is a pattern of some kind on how bugs appear on appear or appear. When you discover the pattern, one thing you need to want to do is to reduce the number of known bugs or bug types from your product in the future. We can divide this process into steps. First step is to analyze bug in software with the aim of finding the source. Why and how did a defect find a way into software? Possible questions to ask: is your system architecture too complex? Bad technical documentation, vague or contradictory requirement? Do our people have the necessary skill to design, implement, test the software? The second step is to define a set of actions and procedures to avoid appearance of the same bugs in the future. A typical approach would be define a set of guidelines and standards to prevent this type of failure in the future. Improve the quality of requirement by creating a checklist of what good requirements should cover, or use a specific tool to help us. To summarize, with help of analytical techniques, we collect information about software. With the help of constructive software quality assurance methods, we prevent reappearance of bugs from the known source. Quality assurance requires a process and structure in order to analyze and improve software quality. Two great blackouts that took place in the year 2003 in the northeast of USA, causing $1 billion loss was due to error in the million of the line of code, and the total bugs cost also incurred a very heavy loss in the reputation of the business. This is just an example of what consequences people and business had to face due to the failure to the entire quality assurance control and management. There are many such consequences business face even today, not being able to deliver quality products. Incidents like this have marked the importance of quality assurance more important than ever now. What is a solution? One of the most important and widely discussed trend with the software testing community is the shift left testing, which means to start QA activities in the early stage of software development life cycle, instead of overloading the quality team with tasks at the last stages of the development. The solution is to start testing early so the QA team will get enough time to test software application, so they don't need to squeeze testing time. With the product team full of designers, product managers, developers, and QA testers, it can be too challenging to convince everyone that it's necessary for everyone to be on the same page to the involve QA early in the cycle. I believe that. I believe that most of you know the basic difference between testing and quality. Testing is about identifying or uncovering the defect in the functionality, and quality is about meeting the user's requirement. It's also referred to the fit of purpose. Shifting left in a QA is all about applying our thinking on the lines of fit of purpose. No process can be 100% perfect, but we are using this approach to overcome our problems through continuous shift lefting testing and brainstorming session. What the block areas, bottlenecks, and possible performance failures are identified in advance. Even though this discovers may lead to new design alternatives, they are improved version of the original idea. With this approach, QA can provide feedback on user stories, which can help to resolve logical conflicts and discrepancies in requirement. Shift left testing gives more breathing room to tackle mistakes immediately after they are spotted. With QA is involved early, we can rest assured that the project will progress smoothly. More defects will be identified earlier in the project, requirements will be groomed more quickly, and money and time restraints can be met more easily. Shift left approach just does not end with the testers alone. Writing test cases before the code actually comes into the testing stage will also allow to developers to take more ownership of their code and increase their responsibilities on testing. This extra layer of the testing also creates positive vibes on the team. It is more expensive to fix things later in software testing, software development life cycle. Therefore, getting QA involved as soon as possible allows issues to fix when it's less expensive to do. Once we plan better, we will get extra time, and while UAT is going on, QA can continue to do exploratory testing. This will assure that the overall project is successful. Tester can accelerate project delivery by finding defects earlier in the software development lifecycle, minimizing the time between release and thereby gaining organizational trust. To conclude, it should be also mentioned that achieving quality is a team responsibility. By team, I mean everyone involved in creation of the feature of product: developer, tester, project manager, product owner, and stakeholder. Each of these roles is critical to software quality and process used to take it from conception to deployment. Introducing new ideas and process can be frightening for some teams because change is hard. We'll make mistake, and there could be some lesson learned while execution, but the key takeaway here is a shift left is much more than process change. It is mindset and culture shift to set up. The subtle differences between software testing and quality assurance are too significant to overlook. When software testing emphasizes on technical aspects of the system, quality assurance deals with the software specification. It is a comprehensive and systematic method to ensure the quality of products delivered. Further, quality assurance practice evaluates the development and test cycle, including the techniques, tools, and process, and standardized quality assurance process verifies the standard of software components with adequate quality reviews. Also, the process involves in process data collections and documentation procedures. It's process-oriented quality governance course rather than product-centric supervision. It focuses more on preventive measures than restorative practices. Now we should discuss why QA is essential for any business. Quality assurance plays a vital role in the accomplishing the expectation and demand of the clients. It helps in saving costs as well as fixing the errors before they become major issues. Thus, it is useful in maintaining quality standards. If quality assurance is done perfectly, it is useful for providing confidence testing the product. There is a wide array of reasons why quality assurance is considered to be effective to your business. Take a look. When quality assurance is done perfectly, it plays a vital role in the growth of business. It also beneficial in introducing the additional cost, which comes while replacing retesting as well as reselling product, having errors. If the customers are not satisfied with the products of the company, the backlash will result in demanding the reputation of the business. Besides this, it also affects the future product negatively. Furthermore, quality assurance saves your organization from spending on legal expenses, primarily when the product does not meet the industry standards. Quality assurance is considered to be the best option to ensure the product you are launching in the market is free from error and bugs. In addition to this, it's also beneficial in adding value to the customers. It also attracts your potential audience towards your brand or wide scale. High quality of software application, which is free from errors and bugs, can enhance the credibility and reputation of business. Thus, the owners of business will be capable of boosting the profits as well as the growth of business. Regardless of the type of software you are producing, it's a prerequisite that the software or application allows the user to make the task easy. The software tester makes an assessment of the different aspects of the software from the perspective of end user. In addition to eliminating all type of performance and bug issues, software testing is useful in bringing an improvement in the user experience in a significant manner. The improved user experience is useful in enhance the popularity, sales, and profitability of the application. There is an instance when a malware attack has reduced in the enterprises to stop a mobile application and website temporarily. Such a type of disruption may affect the reputation of the business. Continuous testing plays a vital role in the improvement to the weaker pieces of code. Besides this, it's also beneficial in maintaining the security of any business. Every end user has the option to select from a wide array of the software application which features similar functionality and feature. The owners of the business opt for every possible marketing options for the promotion of the software. It is also useful in beating the competition. If the software application is found to be flawless, it becomes really easy for the markets to go for the promotion of the application more confidently. They highlight the user experience and quality of the software, which helps them in the selling it at ease. Next benefit, every business organization looks forward to find a base of happy customers in spite of launching a good quality of application and promoting the same with the aid of effective promotional campaigns. As you offer premium quality of the software application that are free from errors and bugs, you will gain success in keeping the customers happy and satisfied. It's also useful in retaining your customers for a longer period. The user experience is known to encourage to the end user in the promoting the application via word of mouth. There is wide of assortment of companies that have earned a high reputation of offering top quality software testing services. As you can make the products of your business flawless and free from the errors with software testing, you can find a boost in the profitability of your business. So if we sum up my topic, I would like to highlight that digital product development is a complex process which involves specialists from a different domain. Quality assurance is a discipline which shadows software development, starting with the gathering of the requirement and ending with testing rollback scenarios with the aim of finding errors as soon as possible, analyze them, and improve the process to reduce, eliminate those type of bugs and errors. Why do we do all this? Because prevention and reduction of drawbacks as early as possible cost less than rework involved in fixing the bug. In this case, we can talk about building quality. It's a smart business decision to invest in effective quality assurance. Thank you for your attention, dear auditory. It was last part of my presentation. If you have any question, I'm ready to answer them.
Just to remind you, you can write the questions in the chat, and I will tell the question to Tinatin, and she will answer them orally. So we are waiting for the questions from you. Tiko, we have one question from Anna.
Okay.
Is it possible to change the software quality after it has been compiled?
Well, it's a good question. Now, the question I think you mean to ask if it is possible to improve the quality of the software after it has been deployed. I would say yes, it is possible to improve the quality, but we need to know what the quality was before the change. Was the change is that is being contemplated. The purpose of the change and what quality factors have been accomplished already or not accomplished already before we can say if the change improves the quality. Ultimately, the user has the final word on quality. So they will be the final word on whether quality has improved. But we can make an educated guess about their response by having the information listed previously. So we can make a decision about whether the change should be made or not. The nature of the change, the size and scope of the change, and what aspects of quality is hoping to be changed, all factors into decision. Color changes or logo placement may be a lot easier to change and improve the quality of the software with opposed to previously unreleased and new security module, for example. As it is for so much of software, the answer really is it depends.
Sorry, I was on mute. Anna, I hope that the question was clear. If you have any other questions, you're welcome to ask them. Okay, yeah, I see that. It's clear. Tiko, thank you. If you have an additional question,
Thank
if
you
anyone
for
of
your
you,
opportunity.
yeah, you can still ask the questions in the chat, and Tiko will
Okay,
move straightly to the chat and answer them directly there. Thank you,
Yes.
Tiko, once again. So I guess it's time to move to the question that I have asked you at the beginning of the event. Due to some technical reasons, we weren't able to share the link. Now, Igor, can you please share the link in the chat? So the question is the following. So how are you feeling in general? You already have experience with Slido. Follow the link and answer the question. And let's see together what will be the statistics for this answer. So most of you are feeling good so far. Oh no, is it Friday yet? Okay, actually, very soon it will be like there will be weekends and you will have some rest. Okay, great. Let's move further. Thank you, Igor, for the question. And let's move right now to the second speaker. And the second speaker will be Iosif. Iosif, are you with us? Can you hear us?
I hope so.
Yeah, we can see you and hear. So, yeah, I guess you can start and I will go on mute.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Very nice to have opportunity to speak to you today. Thanks a lot for joining today's meetup. My name is Iosif Itkin. I'm CEO and co-founder of Exactpro, and today's presentation is dedicated to high-volume automated testing. Let me check if I can switch the slides. Sorry. I think it is necessary to make me a speaker for me to be able to move back and forward. Is it possible to do it?
Yes, sure, Iosif. I guess we need a support from our IT. Just a second and you will be able to move the slides.
Okay.
Sorry for this.
No.
Yeah, can you please try once again right now? You see the slides, yeah?
I can see the slides.
And
but
can you click on them?
No, I can't move them.
Okay, before IT makes you, yeah, now you're a presenter
Yeah.
and you can, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, great.
Thank you very much. So, sorry for delay and technical difficulties. It's not possible to do everything without them. That's why we have software testing in place. So Exactpro is focused on software testing and software development for mission-critical fintech systems. We are headquartered in UK. We have operations in US, in Georgia. We plan to open offices in 2 more countries this year. Exactpro employs over 630 specialists. Our work is well recognized by the industry. We have recent awards in 2020 and 2021 for managed support services, for operational resiliency, for automation technology, for our team management, and also for the work of global exchanges divisions and the head of global exchanges division. We work with clients in more than 20 countries on all continents apart from Antarctic, and we provide processes, platforms, and people to half of top 20 global exchange groups. Most of our clients are regulated by Bank of England, Financial Conduct Authority, or their counterparts in other countries, relevant counterparts. And we deal with the systems, mission critical infrastructure, and there are many challenges to the operational resiliency of such systems, from technical innovation to changing environments, and especially system complexity. So complexity of the systems increases, and it requires special processes, platforms, and special people, of course, to be able to explore more sophisticated software and provide information about its quality to do software testing. The problem statement: technology is getting more and more sophisticated and distributed. Data volumes and complexity levels of the software are increasing. To survive and thrive in a changing world, we need to understand technology around us. Software testing is our first, last, and the only line of defense against unknown problems in the software. But adequate processes, platforms, and people are required to understand, build, transform, and operate modern technology. And one of the processes that I would like to cover today is called high volume automated testing. There are two different ways of formulating it. It is high volume test automation, HVTA, or HiVAT, high volume of automated testing. The work in this area started in 2003 by presentation, by workshops, by Kem Kainer on the subject. There was also continuation of it 10 years later in 2013. I'm not sure why this very relevant topic only appears once every 10 years. I believe that HiVAT, high volume of automated testing, is certainly the future of software testing, the future of technology. So it's likely something will also appear in 2023. I highly recommend to you to look at the website with an overview of high volume automated testing, and also at presentation on the subject. There are various types of defects that high volume automated testing can help to uncover that are more prone to be hidden from other types of software testing. First of all, there are special narrow conditions that are not happening for every value of large domains, subdomains of values. There are some things that lead to problems only in very specific conditions. And when we go through many permutations, we are more likely to hit these particular problems. Also, the definition of what is narrow and what is special is context dependent. very often something that you consider to be very specific or very narrow or very unrealistic, when it does happen in production, it leads to severe impact and severe problems. So ability to catch low frequency, high risk, and high impact problems before the go live is very important. Then HiVAT is very good at helping to identify timing related errors. So when quite often in low latency environment in particular, events can have different sequence for different repetition of the same scenario, and high volume automated testing helps to identify race conditions, deadlocks, and other things. And also, of course, by executing high volume of something, we can uncover problems related to corrupt memories, stack, and internal states problems, and of course, resource leakage. More references. So there is a nice presentation that is called How to Actually Do High Volume Automated Testing. Please have a look. It is available on SlideShare. There's a video, High Volume Automated Testing, describing practical application of the approach to the system with surveillance cameras and many combinations of locks, etc. And another nice presentation on the subject that contains a very good summary of larger documents is called High Volume Automated Testing, and it contains the actual definition present on the slide. So HiVAT is a family of test techniques that enable a tester to run and evaluate arbitrarily many computer-assisted tests. So before we will dig deeper into this definition, let's look at the bigger picture. So what is software testing? Software testing is exploring software with the intent of finding bugs. Software testing is an empirical technical investigation conducted to provide stakeholders with information about the quality of the product or service under test. So software testing is information service, and good software testing is based on scientific method. We study reality, we study software reality and uncover information about software. We observe, we ask questions, we formulate hypotheses, we use them to structure experiments against the system under test. And based on the outcome of these experiments, we make conclusion. And then we repeat it on the next level, trying to uncover more and more information about the system. So robots or machines are not able to do it, first of all, because they can't be bargained with, they can't be reasoned with, and they can't do anything intentionally. So intention requires emotions and will to do something. So it is not something that machines have at the moment. So the most important test instrument is, of course, the human's brain. So it is the main test tool that we have. Unfortunately, the software tester's brain is relatively small, and our capabilities are limited. It means that the human's capacity to design tests is also limited. So when we do it, we will get to the small number of fixed tests due to our innate capability of humans to do things. But humans, we have ability to extend our abilities by using tools to make us stronger in various areas. And in particular, we can try to use computer assistants to support us in designing more things. Automated testing is computer-assisted testing, where we use additional support from the tools to do exploration, that is software testing. And so the working definition of high volumes of automated testing, it is a family of test techniques that use software to generate, execute, and interpret arbitrarily many tests. A family of test techniques that empower a tester to focus on interesting results by using software to design, implement, execute, and interpret a large suite of tests, for example, from thousands to billions of different tests. So we rely on computer aid to design not a single, not hundreds, not thousands, but more and more scenarios. So what can we do? How we can increase the number of tests? One simple approach, very simple approach, is when we already have like a regression library of hundreds or thousands scenarios. What we can do is we can execute it multiple times. So will it lead to any additional information, to any additional defects? So say we'll take only past scenarios from a large regression library and we'll start running them again and again. There is a quote that is, sorry, there was a quote. There is a quote that is mistakenly attributed to Albert Einstein, that the definition of insanity is doing something over and over again and expecting a different result. You can use the link above to get more information about the quote. But the idea whether repeating the same test twice would be doing something over and over again. So whether it is repeating the same thing or not. Say, example, a simple example, if we'll take a light bulb and we can turn it on and off. We can turn it on and off. And it looks like something very, very simple, like one bit of information. But when we turn it on and off, the effect for consequent attempt will be different from the first attempt. And also it will depend on many other things, because in reality, as with many other systems that are complex systems and even simple systems, they do have internal state that changes when we perform particular sequence of steps. There is a famous job interview question about light bulbs. It says, you are in a room with 3 switches which correspond to 3 bulbs in another room, and you don't know which switch corresponds to which bulb. You can only enter the room with the bulbs once. You cannot use any external equipment, power supplies, resistors, etc. How do you find out which bulb corresponds to which switch? And this one is allegedly frequently asked at the job interviews. And the answer is that what you can do is you can switch one of the bulb for some time and turn it on for some time, and it will become hot. Then you will turn off the switch and turn on another one. And when you go into the room, you will have one bulb that is on, one that is off, and one that is hot. So the idea is that even in the simplest systems, there are changes in the state. So if you will start turning on and off a light bulb, eventually it will go off. So it will become broken. So repeating tests many times can uncover additional problems that will not be located by executing regression library once. There is a call for this method. It is long-running regression. So the first thing that we can do, we can run the tests many times. The second one is called load-enhanced functional testing. It is when we run functional tests, but under load. The idea is that due to race conditions, states accumulation, other things, the result under load and without load can be different. And an interesting point here is that in production, in real life, most of the systems are always running under heavy load. Well, so most interesting systems are running under heavy load. So realistic test scenario is always load enhanced. And the most interesting defects are located at the confluence of functional and non-functional testing. You can, of course, send lots of identical transactions and kill the system due to out of memory or due to out of disk space or inability to sustain the volume. But more interesting defects happen when the system is still alive, when it still has resources for processing, but things happen that will not be reproduced without load. So running functional testing under load allows not just stress the system, but to get more information about it quicker, because we can run many tests in parallel and get more information about the system under test. So even by repeating the systems in the tests in time or across the space in parallel, the same test, we can get more information. But even better results can be achieved through parameters variation. So if we will allow our software to prepare tests that will vary parameters, we'll get more output from our testing. We are more likely to hit a narrow or random problem in this software. There are many techniques based on this approach, including fuzzing. But one thing is that what we would like to have is to try to understand whether the system is okay or not. It is easy to understand when the system is not okay, when it crashes, but in order to have ability to say that something is not okay, when we vary parameters, we need to have additional ways of automatically identifying whether something is requires investigation. Thanks a lot for watching it on this YouTube channel. We have additional videos on it, on the subject, and in particular, I recommend you the one on test oracles. It is from our Global Exchanges FinTech webinar, where it contains more detailed explanation what are test oracles and how they can be used in conjunction or with high volumes of automated testing. Please do have a look. And test oracle is a method for determining whether a test has passed or failed. There is no perfect oracles, so all oracles are partial oracles. But when we have multiple partial oracles in parallel with high volume of automated testing, we can be alerted when something is not right. So we need to use different types of oracles with high volumes of automated testing. So even if we put random load into the system, or even if we are not able to predict the exact outcome of non-deterministic system, we still be notified when something is not okay. So in order to be able to run efficient high volumes of automated testing, we need to rely on oracles. And the stronger your oracles, the better would be the results obtained through using this technique. And all testing is model-based testing, but in some cases you can use models or simulators as oracles to understand whether the system behaves in unremarkable way or whether it is necessary to alert a software tester. We can use similar systems previous versions of the software, constraints, rules, and diagnostics, and many other things as test oracles. So what is a similar system? If we have some software that performs the same functionality, what we can do with our zillions of tests that we are executing in high volume fashion, we can execute them against our system under test and similar system under test, and then compare the output. This way we'll be able to see if it is indeed similar or there are some discrepancy. A good example of a similar system can be the previous version of the software, where we can run with thousands of scenarios or millions against the previous version. Constraints and rules can highlight something that is independent of the input and identify correlations within the data streams that highlight that there are errors or problems. And diagnostics is very important. For example, you may not predict some particular negative case or some particular scenario that will trigger a bug within the software. But what you can do is, when you run high volumes of automated testing, you can collect all log files and grab them, search them for exceptions. And this can serve as a model and an oracle. So our system should not output errors or warnings to the log files under normal operations. And if it happens, then something is wrong, or particular types of messages. So there are many ways of getting information from the system, but for high load, low latency solutions, even such things as comparing two similar systems or comparing version to the previous version has many challenges. Then there is a research paper and white paper available on our website or published in scope of KMPA conference that describes what are the challenges of comparing different versions, why it is affected by many distinct factors and timing and various events, etc. So if you would like to understand better what can be the problems with analyzing the output of high volume of automated testing, please do have a look at these papers. So what are the key requirements for the platform capable of doing high volumes of automated testing? It should be able to execute arbitrarily many tests and process their results. It should be able to run in many configurations and go through extreme number of permutations. In order to do it efficiently, it needs to support high volumes and parallel test execution in order not just to run and see that the system is still okay, but to extract valuable information. We need to have ability to apply multiple test oracles in parallel for various of our tests. So we simultaneously put extreme number of tests and at the same time we apply many different oracles to these test scenarios to see if it is necessary to alert the system's operator, the software tester. And also the reference platform should have macro level resilience, because quite often when you do things, something gets broken. And when you run millions of tests, you need to find a balance between a single broken test and millions of other scenarios that you still need to execute. So the reference test platform needs to have macro level resilience. We do have a reference platform now available in open source. It is called TH2, but probably I will cover how to use it to implement high volumes of automated testing in our next lecture at Global Exchanges FinTech webinar. I hope you find some of information, or at least links, in this presentation relevant and useful for you. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Iosif, for the interesting presentation. I see a question in the chat, so I will read it for you. Can running several same tests at the same time may cause a pesticides paradox?
Absolutely. So it is one of the reasons why we need computer assistance to vary parameters, to achieve parameters variation. And when we do standard test automation where human design all tests and their results, it requires human effort to modify scenarios to avoid things like pesticide paradox. But if we are working in a manner where we generate arbitrarily many scenarios with different parameters every time, we are less likely to be affected by the effects of pesticide paradox. So it will decrease its impact, but still, of course, it will just move it to the next level. So it will be more, our cure will be better to these types of bugs. But there's, of course, if we will not modify the models that we use to generate scenarios, eventually we will encounter pesticide paradox on the next level. It's very good question. Thank you.
Thank you, Iosif. I guess there are no more questions for now, but Iosif will move to YouTube chat. So you can ask the question in the chat, and Iosif will answer that. Now I would like to move to my part, as Iosif has talked about the company. Now I would like to tell you more information about the vacancies that we have in software testers direction. Currently, we have 2 vacancies. It's junior and middle software testers position. I will talk shortly about the responsibilities. So these are analyzing technical documentation, also developing test scripts. These are manual and automated test scripts, checking the validity of applications and also environment. and ensuring effective project communication. These are the basic responsibilities for this position. For junior position, you don't need to have any experience, prior experience in testing. All you need to know the basics of Linux and SQL, and also, of course, a fluent English language, because our official language is English. As for middle, we require minimum 2 years of experience. Also, just a little bit about the recruitment process in the company. You will receive resources that you need to study within 7 days. And you have to take a test on DevSkiller platform. It is automated platform. And in case it is successful, we will invite you for the interview with our technical specialists. In case of positive answer, in case of job offer, our mentors, team leaders, or managers will teach everything about software testing. You will receive resources that you need to read and learn about testing, about financial industry, and after that you will have the tasks. More details about the vacancies you can find on our official webpage, exactpro.com, in the career field, or on some portals and websites like HRG and JobsG. This is basically about the vacancies that we have in software testing direction. But talking about the vacancies, I wanted to mention the benefit that we have in our company. So mainly challenging projects that are changing the industry. We have a career growth opportunity. So if you join our company as junior software tester, you will grow to team leader and middle position and senior. Then I think it's very important to mention training and professional growth. We pay much attention to this direction. We compensate certificates, organize webinars, courses, and trainings related to testing and development. We have worldwide business trips. These are business trips between our offices to clients' offices, also to some international events. And we have like the standard package medical coverage, which includes medical coverage, foreign language lessons, port club discount. I want to mention, I want to mention a really very interesting benefit for students. Like mainly it is for students, it's opportunity to work part-time in our company, starting from 20 hours, and of course, flexible working options. These are main benefits that we have in a company, and as taking vacation and having some rest for our employees is very important. We also offer 27 vacation days during the year. This is basically about the benefits and vacancies that we have in the company. And if you're interested in these vacancies, you're welcome to send us the resume. I will write right now an email in the chat. So this is our email, so you can send your CV to this email address, and also you can apply for the position through our web page, or you can see this on our Facebook pages. Let's finish the interview. We hope that the information shared on this webinar was useful and interesting for you. Also, I would like to thank all the presenters for the productive evening. Of course, we'll have many more webinars, so please keep an eye on our website and Facebook group. As we are constantly improving, trying to improve ourselves, we will send you right now a link in the chat, and we'll ask you to provide a feedback. So let's wait for several minutes. It's a very interesting part, actually. Igor, can you please share? Yeah, I see that Igor has shared the link. So please follow the link and answer the question. Yeah, I see that. activity. I see that activity. Mostly you like the webinar, which is great news. So I hope you will attend more webinars, Exactpro webinars. Just press the button like and subscribe for our channel so you will see all the news. Also, you can like our Facebook group just not to miss any information. Okay, thank you. Igor, I guess we are done with the feedback. Thank you. For now, this is all. Before we finish, so the chat will be active for 5 minutes. So you're welcome to write the questions and we will answer straightly in the chat. Thank you once again and have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.